Today we are going to be talking about our insulated option, the Polarthin lining. So this is a unique material that we offer. It's a little bit different than most other companies like Thinsulate lining, things like that. It tends to be a heavier insulator that is put in the boot, can make the boot a little bit tighter, can actually make it very, very warm. I know a lot of people try insulation and the boots end up being too hot for them because of the insulation. So this is a aerogel technology. It is actually used in NASA for satellites, insulating satellites. So it's a very thin material, much thinner than typical insulation. It's got a little bit of a stretch to it, and it's actually got some pores in there. It's a bit more breathable. So this is something we offer on our boots. If you pick Polarthin insulation, we will be lining the vamp of the boot. So pretty much everywhere where you can see the liner here, there will be Polarthin insulation inside. And we also line the footbed of the boot underneath the insole. So the idea with this insulation is not to necessarily make the boot a whole lot warmer, but it is to keep the cold out. So we see about a 20-degree difference with this Polarthin insulation. The idea is that you've got insulation here and under your foot, so it's keeping your extremities from getting cold and freezing, avoiding frostbite, all the important things. We do have expanded Polarthin options on our Build Your Own products, where you can opt to line the entire boot all the way up the top of the boot to give yourself even more warmth. If you do that Polarthin insulation all the way up the boot, it will be lined with leather and the insulation will be sandwiched between the two pieces of leather. So it's not an insulation that you can see. It's not one that is going to get wet or exposed to the environments. It is actually a hydrophobic material, which means if the boot gets submerged, gets wet, the material is not going to absorb that moisture and keep the boot wet. Unlike like Thinsulate liner or wool liner or anything like that, which will get wet and saturated and stay wet. It's good for wet conditions. It's good for keeping your extremities from freezing, keeping you safe from frostbite without getting overly hot or getting, affecting the fit at all. So that is our Polarthin insulation. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service department through phone or through email, or you can check out our buying guide where all of this information is available. Thank you.